So glad to have you here,
Yes, super excited.
Sujata. So I just quickly did an introduction of you, and we just talked about how charismatic you are. You have such a wonderful set of things that you've done in your past, and the kind of things that you do for women empowerment and motherhood. That's phenomenal. I'm so
Thank
glad to have a chance to talk to you and learn a lot about the fitness realm, Zumba in particular, and of course about you as a person. So let's dive right into it.
thank you,
So
Madhavan, and thank you for the whole team, first of all, for giving me the opportunity to really express and share knowledge. I think congratulations, guys. And yes, over to you, Madhavan. Let's
thank you so much. I think not just about us, but you also like agreeing to come and address this panel. We have a lot of people who are joining in, and it is phenomenal because this is the time when we need to be connected to each other. We are all stuck in our homes. We're all, not meeting too many people. I think this is a great opportunity for people to not only interact with people, but interact with people like you. So that's phenomenal.
very good. Thank you.
I'm so glad that not just me, but everybody who's attending this event has that opportunity. So let me start with a very, very basic question. Of course, we're going to go into the trickier questions in just a bit. But what does fitness mean to Sucheta? What is fitness? Like, how would you explain fitness to a layman?
So I actually want to throw this question back to you guys and to maybe anyone who's listening to this and attending this. Is there a way that people could type in their answers? So throughout the session, if they can, in the discussion on the chat room, right? What does fitness mean for them? I would love to read that. And if you can share with me what everyone is writing. But for me, I had this little, ting moment when I realized on an airport, and I traveled a lot pre-COVID, right? Before COVID, on planes, and I saw really, my grandmother's age group. Sometimes they were on a wheelchair, and they needed help to just take them up that what you call the stairway on that slope to the airplane, and again bring them down. They had to wait, and they were so dependent, right? If we ask ourselves, what does a human being want? I'll tell you and keep it on a written paper that we all at the end need independence. We all at the end need independence. And the only way, the first way that we will get it, if we are physically and mentally independent, right? And the only way to get that is to be fit in every way possible. So I think fitness for me is to be amazingly functionally fit. Even at the age of 80 or 90, I wish to live till then, a very active, amazing life. And for that, I need to start investing in myself right now. In fact, let me tell you that from the age of 25, Madhavan, how old are you?
I'm 27. This is a public forum. Okay.
Right. So let me tell you this, that from the age, this is a fact, from the age of 25, you start aging. Hello, people. Sooner you start working out and working on yourself, you're going to reverse aging, right? So fitness for me is just reverse aging, and that's what my goal is, and that's what my meaning is. I hope it makes sense to everyone who's listening.
Wow, so that's very, very deep. So you're saying fitness basically is the process of reversing age. That's interesting. That's a nice way to put it. That's a nice way to put it. So you did like just touch upon while you described what fitness meant to you upon both mental and physical fitness. Right? So when we talk about fitness, people largely associate it with the gyms or Zumba and stuff like that. Can you throw some light on what you mean by mental fitness?
So the reason I got into fitness is because of my mental health, and I'm a open proponent of that. I suffered from social anxiety disorder for years. I still do. Doing this is a big deal for me still. But it's surprising because people think, oh, I have to travel to work. And then, she teaches in front of hundreds and thousands of people. And how can she say she has social anxiety? But that's the truth, right? It is the reason why I shifted my gears from corporate life, from being an engineer. I know, yes, I'm from BITS Mesra, Ranchi, and corporate life TCS to that life wasn't for me. It actually gave me anxiety and stress because first of all, that was 9 to 9. You have peer pressure. Plus, you are, from Ranchi, you shift to Mumbai, you have the chakachong of the metro, and then you're not following your passion, which was for me was dance. And all of that, came together in terms of social anxiety disorder, where I couldn't even talk to people in an elevator. Like, forget entering a meeting room or having this conversation. And life took me to the US, and that's where I discovered Zumba for the first time. And it was a perfect fit because Zumba is a brand, as you know, and it is a dance fitness workout brand, which, is inspired by dance and music from across the world. And for me, oh my God, I get to work out, I get to burn my calories, I get to be fit, and the dance and music, what my passion is, I get to be happy. So I literally call it the happiest workout of the world. And that changed something in my, my mental fitness. And the reason I say that is because, as I said, it's the happiest workout in the world. When I went there, if you've ever danced in a barat, right? If you've ever done dance in a sangeet, if you ever danced in a Ganpati Visarjan, you go all out, you let it all go.
Party dance.
Every time I teach or attend the session of Zumba, and I could just be myself and forget all the stresses of the world for the 1 hour. And then I started to pursue that as my career, my passion, my job. It gave me the kind of confidence that I had never felt before. So please find a workout which does not just go with the trends, but something which, would really, really give you the strength here and the happiness here. So it's so important.
So in a lot of ways, you're also saying that Zumba was that medium for you in which it was both fitness in terms of mental fitness as well as physical fitness, which is like a great combo to have, right? Like you don't need to do something alone. Say, some people try to do meditation to do their mental fitness, try to do something else in the gym, something to come together.
It was like, it was movement therapy, but I'm not at all the person to tell you to do meditation or not. I myself love to meditate whenever I get the time, and it has tremendous benefits. But for me, I get a part of it through my workouts, which I love.
Great. I'm so glad that you pointed out a key phrase over there, whenever you get time. So I think this is by and far the biggest excuse, including I'm guilty of this myself, that I don't work out because I probably lie to myself saying that I don't have time. But what is your advice to folks like me, like who are like just complaining about lack of time? How should I get on and get into fitness?
थोड़ा philosophical होना पड़ेगा इसके लिए, but you know what? Because it has to be deep, right? So I ask myself 2 questions. One is, motivation is overrated. Right? It's just overrated. You cannot be motivated every day to work out. That's just BS. Let me just tell you that. Okay. You need to just be consistent. Like, how you brush your teeth. If you take a shower, I don't know, Madhavan, take a shower every day. But if you do.
Yeah, I do.
If you do, then it's like that. Like, make it a habit. Just make it a habit. And I know it's tough. But even to start off with like 10 minutes of a walk, that's it, and put your favorite music on just to get your body moving. And then what I do is I remember what I felt after the workout. So I don't get stuck on how hard the workout was, because it is hard, right? Except if it's Zumba or something fun that you really enjoy, right? But a hardcore workout is like, effort. So I try to imbibe in my mind, what do I feel? I feel accomplished. I feel happy high. And it's like a drug for me. So I want more of that, right? That's the first thing. Second, I don't ask people, so my students and my clients, I don't ask them why you want to be fit. I ask them, what will you miss in life if you're not fit? So I am a new mom, and I have an 11-month-old son. There is absolutely
Congratulations.
Oh yeah, he's super cute, and he is an absolute sweetheart. But he is a small baby. He requires my husband's and I entire attention because we have no nanny, no house help, no cook. We do everything ourselves, and a small baby,
and a COVID
work projects, and I have stuff like this going on. And I love working, and I will never leave that. Right? It's always going to be a good balance, but I still find time to work out. So why can't you guys? Because for me, I am going to miss out. So I had a child, like I'm going to be 40 next year. When my child is, 10-year-old, I'm going to be 50. I want to be fit and super sexy for him at the age of 50. And that's I don't want to miss that in life, right? I don't want to be old on a bench and my kid is playing. No, I want to play with the kid. And that's the question I ask myself. So you have to ask, everyone who's watching, ask yourself right now, what will you miss if you're not fit?
That's a phenomenal way to phrase that question. Never thought of it this way. Like, what would I miss? I
Live
think I would
for
miss a
40
lot,
years.
sir.
Live for 40 years. All of this gyan will come.
Hope so, hope so. By talking to folks like you, yeah, of course. So hey, so when I was like researching about you and like, of course, I had followed you on Instagram, but I had never gotten deep into it. One of the things that I learned was like Zumba is uh, a brand,
Yeah,
like Nike, like Apple. Zumba is a brand. I didn't know that. And what I used to think was, that form uh,
dance form.
like Bhangra, right?
Yeah.
So Bhangra is a dance form. I thought something like that is Zumba. Can you like clarify stuff for
Throw
me
some light on
and
it.
for
I
the
would
audience?
love to. I would love to. So I had the same, experience and same idea back in 2010 when I shifted to the US, and I just enrolled for a Zumba class because I was a dancer, and I went to a class thinking it's an African dance form, Zumba, Tumba type. When I went there, I realized, oh my God, there's a proper licensed Zumba instructor teaching 60 people. It was cold, in the winter morning back in the US. I'm like, oh my God, this is like hardcore workout. I couldn't finish it. After half an hour, I was sitting. And that's when I started researching more about it. And I discovered, of course, it's a brand. It's a fitness and lifestyle brand, to put it very simply. And the unique part about it is that it's really broken up all the myths about fitness by making it first a movement class, right? It's easy, fun, effective, inspired by dance and music. So, of course, there is a Bhangra element in a Zumba class. There is flamenco from Spain. There is samba from Brazil. And Zumba, as a company, as a brand, they actually have an entire music department where they have Pitbull, Daddy Yankee, Shakira creating music for us. By the way, did you know that? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, so we had Bacha in India coming down for the instructors in India doing a live show for us. That's how huge we are, right?
Wow.
Yeah, it was 2 years back in Greater Noida. And then we have our experts sitting in Miami who are creating fitness choreographies for us. So it's just not, oh, randomly someone came up and started teaching Zumba in some gym. Guys, please, if you want to come and experience authentic Zumba classes, go to Zumba.com and find a licensed Zumba instructor. And I promise you will not be disappointed because they're teaching authentic Zumba. And you get to travel the world through music and burn 500 to 800 calories and not feel that you're working out. It's like, hey, you're not a dancer.
You're just dancing.
So yeah, that's a little, just so much about Zumba. There's Aqua Zumba, Zumba Kids. Oh my God, guys, read up. It's crazy. And the best part, I'm not sorry
No,
actually.
no,
I'm
please.
actually very excited about Zumba always because being a master trainer and a coach now for 8 years as a Zumba education specialist and as an ambassador for the program in India, I've had the opportunity to train newbies, someone who's in the corporate world, people who've left the corporate world to pursue dance and fitness as a passion, homemakers, college students who have now taken this up as their professional careers and actually really taking care of their households. What an amazing feeling, right? Like it's just not, hey, come and get fit, but it's creating opportunities. And, so 2018, I read this very interesting, data that the fitness industry was just 12 billion US dollars, and now it's going to go up to 32 billion US dollars in 2020, and a big part of it is going to be
That's a
the
B, right? $1 billion.
right. Yeah.
$32 billion.
Yes, and it's going to be huge in terms of Zumba, yoga. Those are going to really push the fitness industry, and that's crazy. So that's a little bit about Zumba.
That was a little bit, of course, there's a lot to learn about Zumba itself. As you mentioned, Zumba.com should be a great place to actually go learn more about it. I definitely am going to do it right after this call. But I'll move on to a little bit of a question that is more relevant to the audience over here in particular. So
Right.
we have a lot of influencers or aspiring influencers, creators who are going to be attending this particular call. And what is your advice about the fitness space in general? Because we are seeing a lot of quote unquote fitness influencer wannabes. With no disrespect to them, is it's hard to draw a line between are you a fitness influencer or are you a model? Right? It's a
Right.
very, very fine line, especially on Instagram.
Right.
What are your top thoughts on that? Like,
I'll
how do you
share
make
my
a profile?
experience. Yeah, and I'm so glad you asked that question. And I have three thoughts on that. First is, I'll take my example. I never share how to do a push up. I never share how to do a burpee because that's not my field, right? Just because someone else is doing and getting, whatever, 5K views or 10,000 views on Reels because they showed a breakdown of a push-up, but you did it wrong, but still because people follow you, you're getting that views doesn't make you a fitness expert, right? So there's a difference between being a fitness influencer and a fitness expert. So in my field of Zumba, I am an expert. I have trained for it. So I only talk about Zumba, right? If someone asks me about nutrition, I will not give them yarn, right? And trust me, I've done it. And I have got flack for it. And I realized, oh my God, I am BSing people, right? I have to stop. So you learn. I'm not saying that you have to go, but you have to be true to who you are. Now, fitness influencer is someone who can be a fitness expert turned fitness influencer. And I'm in somewhere in between where I project, my work as a fitness expert. I don't like the word expert, but a coach, etc. And of course, a fitness influencer because I get to influence people to get fitter. So if you work out, right, you are putting up your videos of working out. You're having a particular, like for example, I have, again, this is not like a brand promotion, but Fasten Up, right? So I would put something as a Fasten Up and I would say, hey, this is what I do, take it. And trust me, my second point is that first was please be true to who you are. Don't try to project things that you don't know about, right? Second is I say no. If there are 10 brands coming to me in a month, I would say no. Learn to say no to as many as you want if that is not what you believe in, right? So that's my biggest suggestion to my influencers is that if in the fitness industry, you are dealing with people's bodies and you have to be so aware of what brand you are promoting, right? Please be responsible because you are responsible, right? For people who are following you and their bodies. It's just not like, a beautiful purse, which I would go and I would purchase, and if it's not good, it wouldn't affect me personally so much other than my empty pockets. But body is a big thing, right? So please say no. And if you have particular standards of yourself, the right brands will come to you. They may not pay you initially, but if you put out good content, they will. I absolutely assure you that. And the third thing is my women, if you are listening to this, fitness used to be the men's world. Today, it is a fact in India. 45% of the gym goers, people who are into fitness in the virtual world are women. So if my women are watching this, say, hey, send me hearts. I can see some hearts coming up. So I'm assuming people are reacting to whatever I'm saying. Yes, I see that. So excited. Make the most of it because women need information, people, because we don't know. So for example, I'm into Zumba, but I am also a new mom who researched the hell out about postnatal fitness. Just to put out a little message out there for my women also is that people give us this go ahead of going back into exercise after 6 weeks. This whole society made us think we have to bounce back and have a flat tummy. It's not possible. And I talk about such things very openly. I show my belly. I don't have to have my Purana Zamanika six-pack abs. I'm super comfortable in my little belly, but I'm working on being stronger. And I talk about that and I relate to women. I'm adding value. So you have to think, my women, that, how can we change what people are thinking about a woman's body by being fitness influencers? Yes.
That's right. That's right. So just to recap, is it three things? Be true to yourself. Learn to say no to the brands that do not relate to you. And if you are a woman, go get it. If I may phrase it that way.
This is the time to live it on social media for women fitness influencers.
Sorry, I lost you for a bit. Sorry?
I said this is the right time for women fitness influencers to just live their best life on social media.
Right. So talking about this time, I think the obvious question which you would have predicted I'm going to ask you is about COVID, right? So during this COVID time, I want your advice on two things. One is, as an influencer, as a creator who does not now get to go to the gym, right? So let's say wherever their equipment lies or wherever they normally work out. So now they are trapped at home. The gyms are not going to open anytime soon, apparently. How do we continue to maintain the cadence on social media? That you still need to keep posting, right? Like, how do people cope up with that? How do you cope up with that?
So in terms of posting about fitness on social media when we're not hitting the gym and we can't take videos and all of that, is that what you mean?
That's right.
Oh, okay. So I love, I shouldn't say I love, but it's given me this, sweet, bitter experience of initially I was actually just returning to my fitness journey in February. I was hitting the gym every day and everything stopped. And I was like, oh my God, what just happened? And then I got demotivated because I want to get, the bounce back hit me, and that was just disrespectful to women, even to say that word, bounce back. So I started to actually starting working out and finding different ways to work out from homes. I'll give you one example. When you sukhao kapde, right? You sukhao your laundry, right?
Yes.
You dry your laundry, right? And you literally have to squat down into your bucket, pick it up, and then you have to engage those glutes and your quadriceps and hamstrings, and then you have to go up and then hang it, right? Like an overhead press. Hello, guys. That's content for you. I've used it. It worked awesome, right? So be relatable. You have to be so relatable. Like I pick up my baby, right? I'm actually going to put up a reels in just 2 days where I'm showing women how to pick up, like new moms, how to just grab your baby and, stand up. I recently did a simple video because what I am using during COVID, right? So I'm having this in water, I boil jeera and soft, and that's my morning routine. And I'm just, I show them how I boil it. It's nothing. It's jeera, soft, and, a little bit of that ajwain, and I put everything. I show I'm boiling it and then I'm drinking it. That's great. That's like I'm teaching them, hey guys, just go and do it. That's content for you. So who's stopping you to be fit in your daily household course? And hey guys, thank you for all the thumbs up. I love it. I'm just being
I think a lot of people are relating to this.
so real. And you have content, right? But in terms of taking care of yourself, I do not compromise on my fitness. I invest in myself. I'm a trainer, but I hire in a personal trainer and I hire people who know their stuff. And I absolutely don't like the fact that when people, negotiate with you in terms of your prices. Guys, yahan pe junk food, 1,000 rupees ho gaya, weekend pe kharcha, but you can't spend 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 rupees on a trainer. Come on. So personally, I would say that, in terms of personal fitness. I hope it makes sense.
Yeah, that's actually a really good advice. That is, like, if you want to be an influencer, you have to be relatable. And right now, I think the entire country, not just the entire country, the entire world is right now going through this pandemic. And if you just show your life as to how you are trying to cope up with fitness, I think that in itself is something that is super relatable that people can start engaging in. As you just saw, a lot of likes came up when you were talking about your fitness routine at home. I think that's phenomenal. Cool. So I'll move on to the next question here, which is advice for somebody who is really young. Not to say you're not, of course, a little younger. And
Of course I am.
yeah, so for somebody who's just starting out and is super passionate about dance and fitness in general, what's your top advice? Like, what do you think is an advice that most people get wrong?
Sure. I train a lot of young people. Over the last 8 years, I've trained thousands of youngsters to take this profession up, but generally also in the fitness world, I have trained and constantly learned. So again, I'll tell you two things which has really struck me is that even I sometimes get so mesmerized with these, my own friends who are into bodybuilding, physique, building, right? All of that. And I see their bodies and then they get so many likes. I'm like, oh my God. I need to be a fitness influencer. And then I don't see the behind the scenes, like how much hard work, what is the amount of nutrition, how much effort they're putting it in the gym or how much sacrifice their families are doing. So you have to be absolutely clear about if you're going to pursue any career, whether it's a fitness influencer or a fitness instructor, that is hard work. It's a career choice. I started off with teaching just 2 students for 3 months. I just had 2 students and then it grew to, 5 and then 10. I today in my group classes, guys, in the virtual class, I am so happy teaching 30, right? My real life classes, I would travel the country with teaching hundreds, right? Thousands. And it's totally fine. There's no ego whatsoever. Guys, in the US, I taught in birthday parties, Zumba kids classes. It's totally fine. There has to be hustle. Ego has to be 10 feet under the floor. So first, ego out. Chahiye glamour, to piche kaam karna padega, right? And show the behind the scenes to people also. Bhai, itna kam karna padta hai, right? And then so keep it real. Second, I feel it's, it's so important that in terms of a career, we should have a long-term plan every 5 years. This is my suggestion, which I am learning today, is that I have been into Zumba and it will always be my first love, and I will always coach and train as many years as possible. But constantly evolve and learn. So just 2 days back, I hosted a social media workshop for fitness instructors, because fitness instructors don't know how to market. I didn't know. I learned, and then I hosted that workshop. I kept 3 months back. I took a nutrition workshop. I just signed up for learning 2 new workshops on gut health, right? I am learning. What's stopping you? I've been in this industry for 10 years. So keep growing, keep learning, because the moment you stop learning, your success stops and you are irrelevant.
That is the harsh truth, and I think there is a lot of advice that is much more generic just than to be a fitness influencer here. That is, like, you need to put in a lot of hard work. Now, behind every overnight success that people call it, there are like years of hard work and a lot of behind the scenes stuff that need to happen, right? So I think that's really good advice there. I hope people
Thank
take
you.
value out of it. I'll move on to like probably a couple more questions that I have. Like I have a lot of questions over here that I haven't covered yet, but then I would also like to open it up for the audience to ask you questions directly as well. So let me move to the yes. I think this is again a great point. So you mentioned that very early on, even when you were working at your corporate life, you always had this passion for
That,
dance, fitness.
right.
At what point did you realize that this is my passion? Right. So a lot of people that just do it as a hobby for a very long time, but never ask the question: Is this my passion? What is my passion? How do you figure that out?
So I think passion is overrated. I was smart. So I actually was a fool first. I started off as a passion because I thought, oh my God, now this is the only thing which gives me happiness. And I quit my corporate life and I went into dance professional training. So people who know dance works, I joined Ashley Lobo and I trained, like literally you train like an Olympic champion. But जेब में कुछ पैसे नहीं. So I literally did 3 part-time jobs. When I tell you my ego is 10 feet under the floor, it is, because my 3 part-time jobs was wearing a sari, working for an NGO, going municipal school to sell books for a 5% commission. That's what I did to really sustain on vada paos for lunch, breakfast, dinner, and whatnot. So whatnot I have done in terms of, just hustling. And then, I realized I was 25 at that time and I was competing with 15-year-olds, right? I could never, you have to, at a point you realize that, is this passion going to give me long-term gains, right? In terms of giving you happiness because you're following passion, and bhai bank balance hai ki nahi, because ultimately khana bhi to hai. And then I realized that I need to really evolve, and things happen as I did researching. As I said, I moved to the US and I discovered Zumba, and it happens the moment you throw it out of the universe and you realize certain things, things kind of fall in place and you have to grab every opportunity. And that's when I realized, oh my God, with Zumba, just an example, my example, right? I could pursue my career in dance where I don't have to be this professional jazz dancer and ballet dancer, right? But I can still be good because technically I'm good. I've learned dance. I could be good at that. I could learn something new, which is fitness, and I could earn something out of it. So I used my passion and had a smart, I call it smart work, not hard work. It was hard work and being smart. And I made it into my career. Now, it doesn't happen overnight, right? But you have to keep your options open and keep thinking about how can I use my passion into a profession which will actually pay me long term, right? So I think this is my biggest suggestion to everyone who wants to follow something like this. Like, passion is good, but be smart about it.
Yeah, I think you need to grab the opportunities that come your way and grab them in a way that you are really happy doing it. And I think that's really good advice again. So
Thank you.
last question from my end before again, as I said, we'll go on to the questions from the audience. Is so if you look at various domains in the influencer space, whether it be food or different domains, there's always this divide between should I start on Instagram, should I start on YouTube, should I start somewhere else, and where do I put in all my energies? Like, how do I make this decision?
Oh my God, this is a tough one for me. I'm struggling, so you guys need to tell me. influencers out there, but right now my energies are, and I've done my research, is definitely on Instagram, and I'll tell you why. I think it's been very smart, Instagram. It's taken up the whole concept of TikTok into Reels. Now it's going to monetize IGTV hopefully soon, and that's YouTube for you, right? And of course, it has the Facebook element. And anyways, Instagram, Facebook is the same. So, the same under the same company banner. So Instagram is going to be pushed, right, in terms of posts or stories. It will always work. But said that, more and more experts will always tell you to be present in at least 2 other platforms. So for me, Facebook will always be relevant. I know people think that there is this older age group there, but trust me, the Instagram people are moving to Facebook, right? So you want to hold on to them. And the third one, which I am struggling with, but I know it's so important, is LinkedIn. The moment I started becoming active on it, I actually started getting more corporate, event opportunities, and people started approaching me from corporates, and that's monies, right? But I've been so lazy, so that's my to-do thing, that I have to be more active on my Facebook and LinkedIn. So that's personally that I would like to share for sure.
Got it. Just as a follow-up question, how do you? What kind of content do you do on LinkedIn? I'm sorry, I did not check your LinkedIn page. I didn't guess.
LinkedIn is because I have a background from being in corporate to an ambassador. Plus, I talk about women, working women, or an active, busy mom, how she can get back into her fitness journey, right? How I talk about getting motivated in terms of being fit for the corporate life, because I've been there, done that. So that's why my kind of content becomes relevant when I speak on it. And then there are HRs on LinkedIn who look out for corporate fitness trainers. And if I have that on my profile, I am high on their search, right? Where HRs are always on the lookout, or CEOs are on the lookout. What can we do more for our corporate people, especially in this lockdown and virtual world? That's a smart move, guys, right? So you need to be on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Yep. We're going back to the theme of working smart
and be smart
more than working hard. Absolutely. Super. That's awesome. So I'll take a couple of questions from the audience here. So let's say this is Harsha. He says, so as a Zumba trainer, can we monetize courses online? So I think this,
that.
Or do we have to pay?
Okay, I see the question. Harsha, Zumba is a brand. You cannot go and start teaching, and I don't have my course online or anywhere, because you have to respect, you are taking copyrighted content from a brand and then selling it off. That's illegal, right? You can offer online classes. So on Zoom, I teach my students every day. So I actually earn sitting from home, and that will be your job, whether it's virtual or whether it's live. Then in a live scenario, you go to a gym where a gym will hire you, or you go and rent out a space and then you start. But you cannot go out and put up online content where people can pay you for that online content. That's not possible because it's just copyright. Does that make sense? Sorry, Madhavan, you kind of got hung. I think your Wi-Fi has a...
Sorry. So I was saying, so basically you're saying that there can be a certification like things that you can take from Zumba and then go on and teach people live,
right.
Whether it's virtual or physical.
Right. And you become a licensed Zumba instructor from a Zumba education specialist. So someone like me, so you go to Zumba.com and you find an instructor training, you get licensed from someone like me, or we have I have a huge team of 16 master trainers in India. So you can go and take up that, and then you are good to go and you teach.
Got it. So I think I'll take the next question over here. To be a fitness influencer, do you only need to show exercises or moves, or is there a consultation or advice part to it? Ask Rahat Syed, Dr. Rahat Syed.
Doc, hi, and I think I've kind of covered that, but definitely I think, as I said, there's a difference between being a fitness influencer and a fitness expert. If you're an influencer and expert, you should definitely give your suggestions and advice. But if you're only a fitness influencer, you just work out, but you've not studied fitness science, I don't think so it's right for you to teach people or give suggestions.
Makes sense. How can people join your Zumba classes? I think that's what the question from Ronald Patel is.
Sure, guys, come join me on my Instagram, increase my followership. Like I'm very, very active on Instagram. So if you DM me, I will instantly answer, or at least in 24 hours, and I would love to connect with you.
I can vouch for that. I can vouch for that. Definitely. Awesome. So, like, I think we would be missing a huge opportunity here if we do not talk about, women empowerment on this. We've done all of this around fitness for so long. I'd like to take the last few minutes around women empowerment and like to hear your thoughts as to, what is it in India, especially, where women unfortunately have not had the upper hand for a very long time. What is an advice that you would give to young females uh, that they should just follow from day one?
So, as you know, that I had the opportunity to be at the Rashtrapati Bhavan for the President's Award on Women Wellness, and I was taken aback because with me there were women who had Bajendri Pal. She's one lady, right? And of course, Aishwarya Rai Bachchan and all of these people. And if you see one thing, I saw one thing common among all of them who were there at the Rashtrapati Bhavan was they really put themselves first, right? And it didn't mean that they didn't take care of any other aspect of their lives, whether it was their work or their personal engagements, their boyfriends, their husbands, whatever it is, right? Family. So I think one thing which I learned from those amazing women is that they put themselves and their fitness, which is equal to their happiness first. So whatever time you get, please invest in yourself in terms of taking care. And the second thing is, never ever be listening to unsolicited advice. So in my pregnancy last year, I actually wanted to break a few myths, right? And I knew there were myths because you shouldn't exercise in pregnancy and you shouldn't have high intensity moves. And I traveled, and it was a very planned initiative, given that everything was, fine with my pregnancy. So in my second trimester last year, I traveled 7 cities teaching live Zumba classes with a big belly, my sports bra showing my belly and moving like crazy. And mostly, women. And I love the fact that there were men also attending. And I think when you are so confident with knowledge, so I would say, please educate yourself, ask questions about what is right and what is wrong from the experts, and don't be satisfied till you don't have your answers, and then go and execute it, no matter what aspect it is, right? So for me, that was a phase of pregnancy where I heard all of that unsolicited advice, but I went with facts, right? And I saw it for myself and I executed, and hopefully, some women would be inspired by that. So please educate yourself in terms of health and fitness for sure.
Definitely. And I'd like to close this conversation with a question. One of my friends begged me to ask you. I don't think she's here today because she lives in the US, so odd timings. So the moment she saw the post about you coming on to InfluencerCon, she asked me to ask you this question. That is, there are a lot of women these days, especially in the young age group, young adult age group, who move out of their own homes. They do not live with their parents anymore, and they're able to exercise their freedom. They're able to be who they want to be in that outside world. But when they go back to their hometown or back to that same environment, they kind of get sucked in back into that kind of an environment. How would you try and battle that?
I think it's a fine balance. I would express it in, again, very few words, is be respectful of your elders on what culture they grew up with, right? They didn't have this so much of information overload through internet, right? Awareness, and they want the best for you, but it may not be the best for you, right? So I think it's good to have a communication, sit down and tell them what are your thoughts, have that respectful conversation, right? If that doesn't work, and mostly it works, right? If that doesn't work, be very clear about what is comfortable to you and what is not. Like, have those boundaries set. And third, I feel that somewhere you have to also, understand what they want. So, for example, when I go back, and for example, I'm married, and my mom-in-law is the coolest. My mother wants me to be in a salwar kameez every time I go back home. Right now, she stays in Kolkata, so I indulge her. So she's happy. right? Now, you have to know when to indulge so that you respect some of their, and unless and until it's not regressive and it's against your core principles, please go for it, right? And even if you're not religious, I'm not religious, but I will sit for the puja because that's respectful out of respect, right? With my family. So I know where to maintain the balance, but I'm very clear I'm not going to fast because that's not good for my health. So I'm very clear about that. And in my, 15 years, I don't know how long I'm married, but it feels like 15 years, I haven't fasted a single day. So I'm
That's
very
awesome.
clear, right? So I think we need to communicate. We need to set our boundaries and, come halfway somewhere, come halfway.
That's right. I think interesting point over there is they probably were brought up in a very different kind of a setting, a different kind of a culture. So we need to be respectful of that indeed. Sucheta, I am being continuously pinged by my team saying we have overshot significantly. Uh, Yes, so I'm so sorry, but the conversation was so vital for my own growth. I think I just got carried away. So with that, like I'll give you like the mic one last time if you have any closing comments before we close the session.
Of course, sure. And thank you so much for having me, team. It was an absolute honor to be here. And everyone who's watching, guys, I think this is a very beautiful life to live, even in this tough time. And this is a special time for us where we can actually sit back and retrospect and really think about what can we learn to evolve ourselves. I think that's a last word I'll leave you with is continuously evolve. Yes.
Continuously evolve. We will imbibe that as well. I'm so glad to have you, Sujata. Thank you so much for taking your time.
Thank
And guys, I'm so sorry for overshooting. We can now move on to the next session. You can click on the stage on the left and say bye to Sujata. Thank you so much, Sujata.
Thank you, everyone.